Okay. Welcome back to Comic Book History, episode 60. What character am I talking about this one? This is a weird one. He's not exactly one of most DC most popular characters that they've created that started back in the 60s. This is a character, I love this character. Oh my gosh, this character is so freaking awesome. Who is it? Why, it's the Creeper. Yes, also known as Jack Ryder. Oh, in case you're curious though, this look for him, this was maintained up until the DC relaunch of 2011. First appeared in Showcase 73, where he took a drug and became crazy and just basically put on this attire. These red boots, red gloves, a green Speedo, this hairy cape, has his hair green and is yellow skinned. His skin yellow. Yeah. His first appearance, well, aside from after issue 73, he later on got a very brief ongoing series. Beware the Creeper. Basically, drawn entirely by Steve Ditko. Unlike Hawk and Dove's first volume, Steve Ditko managed to stay on this book the entire time, unlike Hawk and Dove, where he left after issue 2. Though Danny O'Neill did write pretty much the whole run. He basically, even though, yes, Steve Ditko did create this character, it seemed like a lot of the time when he showed up, if I read a line, apparently Danny O'Neill was responsible for developing this character. Yep. Like, after the series concluded, they concluded the storyline for the series 7 years later in Super Team Family number 2. No, I've never read it. I have read The Creeper. It's a pretty good series. Yep, he also appeared in Brave and Bold number 80, or Teen of the Batman, Justice League number 70, which I think he was named in honor of the Justice League. Yes, in honor of the Justice League, believe it or not. Let's see. He also appeared in several issues of Detective Comics. 418, 445, 447, 448. Appeared in Joke number 3, first issue special number 7, Steve Ditko story. He appeared in Super Team Fan number 2, which that was the conclusion of the actual story itself. Barry Ball 143, 178, Showcase 100. Excuse me. Captain Comic Clock number 2, Venture Comics 445, 447. Flash's a Becca feature 4318, 323, DC Comics number 88. And that was in 1985. And those comics there, that was from 1968 to 1985. Yeah, those are all his appearances he made. Yep. And then pretty much after that, he appeared in like Secret Origins. We got new backstory by Andrew Helfer. He didn't, like, post-Crisis, he didn't do very much for the first decade. Like, he popped up in Eclipse over a couple issues, apparently got killed while being part of a team of superheroes to kill Calypso. And then he got an ongoing series in 1998 that lasted for 11 issues. Let's see, who wrote this thing? I think it was Len Kametsky. I believe this was the same writer who wrote Justice Society America Volume 2, the one in the last 10 issues. This is actually a pretty good series. It's basically the Creeper interacting with the Batman Rogues Gallery. Yeah, that's the best thing you can say about this run, because like almost every issue. Oh yeah, he spends almost the entire series in Arkham Asylum. Yeah, spent a whole year in Arkham Asylum. That's something. Then after that, he didn't do very much for several years until he popped up. They kept altering the guy's backstory where, like, this is on drugs, or basically just dressed up as this, claiming he was crazy, then he actually became crazy. And mostly he didn't do that much until around, like, 2009. Yeah, after this ongoing series ended, he did very little. Like, they say he popped up in Rain and Hell, he was a demon. But when in 2009, something really cool happened to him. He joined the Outsiders. Yep, he joined the Outsiders when Pierre de Tomasi wrote the title. And he stayed with the group up until the final issue of the run. Yes, he even briefly took part in Blackest Night. Yes, he took part in the Blackest Nighttime. Yeah, the Creeper fighting Black Lanterns. Isn't that something? Though the Black Lanterns just happen to be Katana's children. You might be thinking, wait, Katana had children. And you already knew that basically her husband was killed by some murderer. But her kids too? Yeah, her kids were killed too. I'm like, damn. And Katana's a smoking hot woman, and yet, well, lost her kids. Yeah, it's part of her backstory that her family was murdered. Well, basically her husband and her kids were murdered. And she's one of the very few superheroes who actually had kids. But here's the thing. Her kids are no longer alive. Yes, and you had the Creeper battling them. But I think the aspect of him battling Black Lantern is a little interesting if he wasn't battling zombie kids. But that's the Creeper for you. He's creepy, to say the least. Yeah, when the group split, this was after, I believe it was after Tomasi left the book with issue 25. He actually, I think he stayed with Geoforce's team. And they went back and forth between Geoforce's team and Black Lightning's team, where they went back and forth between the two of them. And then the book ended issue 40. Yep. This was definitely a good book. And then post-Crisis, not post-Crisis, post-Flash reboot. Wow, they did very little with this character. He popped up in Katana as a recurring character in that series. He got a new backstory where he is a demon from Japanese mythology. Okay. And his most recent appearance was actually in Doomsday Clock, which had all of his appearances in the New 52 era all negated. Yep. That's pretty much just it. Excuse me. There was also a alternate version of the Creeper as part of a miniseries published in 2006 under the Vertigo imprint, which I have never read it, but it sounds quite interesting. I mean, it's set in the 30s, featuring another Creeper who's actually a woman, who's also a serial killer. Yes, a female Creeper. Now, you're probably thinking, the thing with the Creeper is he's sort of, in a way, an anti-hero. He's picked him off as a hero and villain. Yeah, when he appeared in Joker number 3, he was the enemy to the Joker. Yes, the Joker. And the characters look very similar to each other. Outside the comics, he appeared in roughly about a few TV shows. He popped up in an episode of New Batman Adventures, where they actually adapted his post-crisis origin story for the show. Where also in the show, they had apparently the Joker was responsible for turning Jack Ryder into the Creeper. He also popped up in an episode of Brave and the Bold, which I think may have been an adaptation of his appearance from the actual Brave and the Bold comic book. And he's also appeared in a video game, believe it or not. Yes, not the Creeper himself, but Jack Ryder. You hear his voice in Batman Arkham Asylum, which is a great game, by the way. Yeah, it is a fantastic game. And he does make a physical appearance in Arkham City at the beginning portion of the game, where he basically is under protection of Bruce Wayne for his portion of it, and then he disappears. He doesn't do very much after that. They say in the game the reason why he's actually in Arkham City, because he dares speak out against the Arkham City stuff. Yeah, he didn't like it at all. And they also have it where he's a radio reporter, which is interesting to say the least. Yeah, Jack Ryder is typically a reporter. Usually he's like a news anchor, usually TV or radio, but that typically is part of his backstory. Now, the Creeper himself might be a potential character you could see in live action. I mean, he's very simple. You don't have to use CGI. Just use the pre-crisis. Just use the pre-Flashpoint version. Don't use the one he transformed into a freaking demon. That'd be quite creepy. Just use this look for him. It is so simple. Just use this, but use like the post-crisis version where he's involving drugs and basically transform this. That would be better. Now, the Creeper himself is a great character. I love this character. The only problem is I haven't read enough of him. That's the thing. Oh yeah, and the thing is, because he's crazy. And the thing is, why was he part of the Outsiders of all things? Because apparently Batman picked him as part of the team. Why? Because he's freaking nuts. And you probably trust him because of his frequent team-ups with the character. That's my personal theory. The reason why that Peter Tomasi basically put in the book. Yes, Tomasi put in the book. And for some reason, when the deal came on the book, basically issue 26 up until the final issue 40, he kept them on the roster. Yeah, he kept them on the roster up until the final issue, where the Outsiders were disbanded in the final issue. Now you're probably curious though, is there some trade paperbacks of the Creeper? Yes. Yes, there is. They collect... Oh, I almost forgot. He did appear in World's Finest Comics. Yeah, from 249 to 255. Let's see. Let's see. I think, let's see. Beware the Creeper, the 2006 one. That's actually a trade. Let's see. I'm trying to think and see if there's anything on Amazon. There might be. I'm not sure. Because I could have sworn I saw one on there. Okay, here's one here. The Creeper by Steve Ditko. This one came out 10 years ago. Though it's $100. I'm not kidding about that. Seriously, freaking $100. This comic. Okay, the Creeper by Steve Ditko just contains his original debut appearance, Beware the Creeper, first volume, 6 issues, first issue special number 7, and, well, short stories 249, 255. And that's it. That's all it's in this particular book right here. Now, is that the only trade paperback of the Creeper? Let's see. Well, his appearance from Joker is in Joker Prince of Crime. Of course, his appearance from Brave Bold is in Brave Bold, like, Silver Age books. Yeah. That's it. So, like, basically, like, one trade for him. Yeah, one trade. Kind of forgot about this one. I don't think I read this one. This was the 5th volume of the Creeper, published in 2007. And this was a mini-series, published in a paperback called Creeper Walker the Creepsville. Yeah. But there's not a lot, per se, to the Creeper for him. But he's an interesting character. I mean, I love reading older characters. And he's a character I'd like to see more of. It's just that DC doesn't do much with him. Kind of like Hawk and Dove. At least Hawk and Dove, I guess that's an ongoing series. Creepers had a few. Not much. At least they put good writers in the books. Like, if you read the one from the 90s, it is really good. Yes. The original one from the 60s is really good. Let's see. This Outsiders one is actually pretty good. Those books I would definitely recommend, along with his original debut appearance. And... well, his appearances from World's Finest, and that's it. Basically, he's mostly like a spotlight character with a few short-lived series here and there. That's basically just what we can say about the Creeper. He's more successful as a spotlight character than he is as an ongoing series. Yes. Now you probably think, okay, just discuss the Creeper this episode. Last one discussed Hawk and Dove. What about the rest of Steve Ditko characters? Well, there's not a lot I can say about them because I haven't read everything for them. Sad to say. So, am I going to discuss at some point? I eventually will, but probably won't be for the next episode because think, for the past 10 episodes of the series, I've discussed Steve Ditko characters, well, with the exception of one episode I did take off to do an episode talk about the Doom Patrol, which is a great group, by the way. Now you're probably thinking, well, what else is there to talk about? I mean, Talk about a lot of very popular Steve Ditko characters, which is quite nice. Okay, but who can I talk about next? Well, you probably have to wait and see exactly who I'm going to discuss next. I mean, it could be anybody. Yeah, I discuss a good variety of comic book characters. I mean, there's some I probably won't talk about comic book history because they've talked about detail and length. Like, for instance, Spider-Man. Everybody knows about Spider-Man. He's a character I decided not to cover in these comic book history episodes. Mainly because he's been covered in detail and length over the years. And there's been documentary. I think there's been like a couple documentaries about him. So, he is out of the question. Okay. What about Captain America and some Final Avengers? Well, I did discuss the Hulk per se. Well, there was a reason for that. Because I think he's actually one Final Avengers who does not get a lot of love. So, I might think of discussing, talking about maybe one of the Avengers. I mean, discussed a lot of DC characters lately. I think about Marvel characters. I mean, the comic book history episodes basically talk a lot about Marvel books. So, who could I discuss? I know. How about I talk about frickin' X-Force? Yep. Well, yeah, I can do it. Well, before I do X-Force, I should probably talk about the group that inspired them. The New Mutants. Yep. But that'll probably be in episode 61 because I don't think I've ever discussed the New Mutants. No, I've talked about some of the books in Comic Corner, but I've never actually done a comic history episode on the New Mutants. Not that I could think of though, but that'd be interesting. We'll talk about the New Mutants. Of course, it's a great group, anyways. Yep. So, in today's next video. Oh, in case you were wondering though, there are no videos today. This is the only one I was planning to do today. Tomorrow, I expect to see, as of currently, I'd say at least 2 that I could think of. One, of course, is ReZero, which is going to be probably either the second or third to last episode of the season. And, of course, 7 Deadly Sins. Hoping the actual website I'm watching it on actually bothers upload the name episode. Hopefully. Yep. We did a video. Bye.